Hey guys, what is happening? Review Man here, and today... Oh, excuse me. There we go. Anyway guys, today I'm reviewing a great show, a great Christmas show, and this week is Christmas, and so I'm reviewing Frosty the Snowman with a jolly happy soul, with a corn cob cup and a button nose and two eyes made out of coal. Frosty the Snowman. Anyway, that's enough of my singing. You guys didn't come here to hear me sing. So anyway, you want to hear a review of Frosty the Snowman. That's why you clicked on this video. And anyway, Frosty. The movie starts out with it's Christmas Eve. The school hires this magician called Professor Hinkle. He's a magician. He's a grumpy old magician. And so he's doing like all these magic tricks, like pulling rabbits out of hats. And the kids in this school is named Claire. And anyway, Claire is the main point of the main person in this story. Anyway, they go out and it's Christmas Eve. Everybody's dismissed, and the professor is really mad because the magic tricks didn't work out and all this other stuff. So yeah. Anyway, they build the snowman. And they named the kid Frosty. Come on. What other... It's the name of the movie, Frosty. What would you name him? Bruce? Bruce the Snowman? That wouldn't work out. Frosty. So, they're like, oh, I'm sure hope he'll come to life. And then the magician had this hat. And the magic hat came to... They put it on top of Frosty, and Frosty came to life. The professor said, "Give me that back." He's like, "No, that belongs to Frosty." And so he said, "Okay, I'm gonna try to get that hat back somehow. I'll be watching you kids." And so they all dance around with Frosty, and as the song goes, "There must have been some magic in that old shell cap they found, because when they put it on his head, he began to dance around. Frosty the Snowman had to hurry on his way, because in the movie he was saying, oh man, it's high, I gotta get somewhere, I gotta get up to the North Pole before I melt. I gotta get somewhere cold before I melt." And so what they do is they decide to get a few tickets to the North Pole for the girl and Frosty. But the tickets are too expensive. And so, yeah. So they go out in the middle of the woods. And Frosty is trying to get the girl to stay warm in the snow, because they're always trudging through the snow, which, if it's warm above 70 degrees, why is there still snow on the ground? There's still snow on the ground in this episode, in this little TV program, which came out December 7th, 1969. So yeah. Anyway, they said, "Look, there's a greenhouse. There's a greenhouse." And what he does is he's like, "I gotta get." And so what Frosty does is he said, "Oh, I can't go in the greenhouse." And then he puts the girl in the greenhouse. And then he's like, "Come on, Frosty." And Frosty puts the girl in the greenhouse, and then next thing you see is the professor. He was watching them throughout the entire, while they were walking through the woods. And the magician, he was watching them, and when they were walking through the woods, he's like, I'll get this guy. And then he's like, then they go into the greenhouse. The professor closes the door. Frosty melts. And he's like, and then next thing you see, he's like, oh, Frosty, I love Frosty. And while this is going on, all the animals in the woods are acting crazy, because the magician had this little white rabbit, and he's like, and before Frosty melted, he told the rabbit to go get Santa Claus, to go get Santa Claus, to try to get Claire back home. And then he says, "Oh, and then next thing you see is this windows open in the greenhouse, And then next thing we know, here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus, and he says, "But Clara, don't cry. Frosty was made of Christmas snow, magic Christmas snow." And then he opens the door. He opens the door to the greenhouse, and here comes the snow to bring Frosty back to life. And then the magician's like, "What? How? I'm out of Frosty. I got my cap back." And then the Santa was like, "That was Frosty's cap. That was not your cap." And then he says, "Go home and write 5,000 million times, 'I will not be mean to Frosty, or else you won't get anything in your stocking this year.'" And he's like, "Okay, I'll go right." And then then the movie ends with Frosty and Santa going back up to the North Pole, getting ready, flying back, and Frosty's at the end of the movie saying, "I'll be back on Christmas Day." It's like in the song, "Frosty the Snowman was a jolly happy soul, with a corncob pipe and a button nose and 2 eyes made out of coal. Frosty the Snowman was a fairy tale, they say, but the children say he can laugh and play before he melts away." I don't know. That was the last part of it. And then at the end, everybody has fun because Frosty's saved and Christmas is saved, and Clara goes back at the end of the movie back to her house because Santa delivers her at the end of back to her house at the end of the movie. And so yeah, that was Frosty the Snowman. I didn't give as much detail as this one because I'm working on a bunch of other things. But yeah, that was Frosty the Snowman. A little review for y'all guys under a few minutes. And y'all guys be sure to check out my other video that I just uploaded. It's a Christmas lights display special. Y'all check that out. I'm going to leave a link below. I'm Josh, the Review Man. Like, comment, subscribe. Merry Christmas. And I will see y'all guys in the next video. Peace.